G'day YouTubers, it's Jeff McPhee's Gardening, Melbourne, Australia. Do you know in our country, and I think it applies around the world, that in the first 12 months, 10 to 20% of our lawn care and gardening businesses don't make it. And the alarming figure after 3 years, 50 to 60% don't make it. And year 5 and onwards is more again. And it's all because we didn't know things beforehand when we first started. So in today's video, I want to discuss about what I should have known, and I guess there's a lot of other people out there that have started a business, what you should have known beforehand when you started the business. So let's turn the lessons into success. So when we first start out, we're keen, we're enthusiastic, and we're really, bull at the gate, we want to get in there and get it done. But trouble is, I wished I'd learned from the start some of the things that I should have known, and it would have made that initial journey so much more easier. Now, I got through okay, but I could have done better. And I can understand why some businesses, if they're not prepared themselves to go into business and think about these things that we're going to talk about, I can understand how they go broke. One of the biggest misconceptions that a lot of people have, and I probably did it myself when we first started, was just a matter of go out, get an old mower and mow some lawns, and the customers would refer you to their family and friends, and away you go. In reality, it doesn't happen. Like we've seen kids, after school going mowing lawns and doing okay and making some good pocket money. But the difference is here, we're not just mowing lawns, we're actually mowing lawns for a living, and there's a big difference. The biggest challenges when you start out is pricing. You're going with that attitude, I've got to get customers, so what do? I charge a cheap price. And when you charge a cheap price, you're working long hours and you're working with minimal pay. So you quickly realise that if you don't raise your prices, you're going to get left behind. Raising your prices is scary, as we've discussed in many videos. But when you raise your prices, you're going to get better customers, funnily enough, because the customers that you don't want, the so-called crap customers that only want cheap prices, you won't have to worry about them, because you're going to get people that are going to value your service. Because when you raise your prices, you're going to get better clients and your performance will lift. Now, when I first started, I came from an office environment, from an aircraft cockpit, from driving a car, but no exercise at all. And the biggest challenge I found was the physical side of the business and also the climatic conditions. And I started winter, it was cold. Coming into spring wasn't too bad. The summer, and when I had my first spring and summer and the work was piled on and I was not physically up to the standard that I should have been, it was a big challenge. And that's something that before you start, got to try to get yourself in a condition, because it's certainly a very physical but rewarding business. Another big challenge that we find when we start out is that we don't realise the value of our equipment. Many people start part-time, many start off low cost. It is a low cost entry business, and therefore there's lots of different people the way they go about it. Now, like any business, you have to spend money. You have to spend money to make it successful. You don't have to spend a lot, but with equipment, I believe you need to buy the best possible equipment that you can. You don't want to have breakdowns. You want to have backups. You want to have good quality equipment that will do a good quality job. Remember, if you raised your prices, when you raise your prices, you're going to provide value for your client, and you're going to do that through good equipment. You start off with a mower, a good quality mower, maybe a second-hand backup. You can have a whippersnipper. If you can have 2, that's better. But you can get away with 1, and also a blower. The fourth one, of course, is the edger. I believe edgers really get the clients, and you really need a blade edger. And I've banged on about that in a lot of videos in the past. If you can afford it, I'd start off with battery. Maybe not the mower, but maybe the whippersnipper and the blower. If you can, and you have got an allocation of funds, I'd certainly start off with battery, because today's era, battery are so reliable, Batteries are low in maintenance and batteries are easy to start. How many times in the summertime I'll see guys on the side of the road and they're pulling away and trying to get their streamer going because they've got a vapour lock because of the hot weather. But irregardless, the equipment, think about the best possible equipment that you can buy. One thing I really wished I really knew better, I did all right at it, but I wish I'd really concentrated on it, was the importance of marketing, the importance of customer service. Now, many people go in there and think we just mow the lawn and the customer will be happy and they'll refer them to their friends and family. It doesn't happen. So that means you're going to have to market. You're going to have to get onto Facebook. You're going to have to get onto your Google ads. You're going to have to go to printed media, letterbox drops, paper ads. Like in our day, we had printed media only. But today, there's so many more avenues of media to get yourself out there. Sometimes you might have to pay for it. I know people that pay for ads on Facebook and do very well, 4 to 5 leads a day by doing that, by setting up a nice little marketing program, good photos, good information, and put themselves out there. Personally, I'm not a big fan of Facebook, but I know it does work for a lot of people. So it depends on what stage you are in your business as to what type of advertising you need to do. But you need to do it fairly aggressively to get the good customers on board. And when you do get the good customers, provide quality service, provide top-notch service, or they'll be gone. And the other important thing is maintain the passion. It's going to be hard at times. You're going to get down. You might not be getting as much work as you want. You might not be charging like you should. You might be struggling physically. But if you don't maintain that passion, you're going to find it difficult to continue. It's one of the key elements of success. And that's something that's helped me along the long journey, is the passion. As my business grew, I realised the understanding of my customers' needs was crucial. It's more than just mowing lawns. I wanted to provide a complete service to make their life easier. So it was a matter of me upselling the whole gamut of aspects around the garden. And that's when the business really took off. One of the most important moments in my journey is when I realised I had to focus on providing value. Not just mowing lawns. It sounds simple, but it was a game changer. It was providing the extra services, the hedging, the irrigation system, the lawn fertilisation, all the aspects of having that garden looking spectacular. That was a game changer, and we apply that to our commercial properties as well. Now, this change in mindset, I had to change. I had to change myself. I had to study. I had to look at books, and I've recently YouTube channels, forums, internet, Google, as much information I could suck into my brain. It was amazing how much I didn't know until I started doing that. Now, in my early years, I didn't pay particular attention. I soon realised I needed to. In fact, I did a horticulture course, which did help me. But you don't need to do that nowadays. You've got the internet available to you. Study what's in your environment. Study the trees, study the shrubs, study when they need to be pruned. There's so much to learn, and surprisingly how much out there that you can learn off. And it really makes your journey so much easier. In fact, there's a lot of us that grew too quickly, too fast, because we're taking on so much work. We wanted to travel so quickly. We didn't realise how to scale our business. We grew quickly. We put on employees, and a lot of people put on employees to cover the work. And because they're not managing their employees properly, it certainly becomes a headache. And it's very careful planning required that when you do grow, you grow with a strategy, you grow with a plan, not just take on extra work and put on extra employees without looking at a long-term plan. Starting a lawn care gardening business, it's not easy. It's very rewarding, but it's not easy. When you're starting out, and even when you're early years, take the time to study your pricing, your competition, your marketing, your customer. Take the time to study all those aspects, and it will reward you. As I say, it's not an easy task, but it's something you need to do. I made a lot of mistakes when I first started, and I'm sure there's a lot out there who've done the same. You can shortcut those mistakes by taking some of these on board, because if you start off in your business with a plan, you're going to be so much more successful, so much more quickly. And at the end of the journey, you'll make a long journey because you've done those things. With the employees, delegate, prioritise your time. Make sure you've got a system, have systems in place so that everybody knows each other's job, that someone can walk out, someone can walk in, but you've got a system, and when you've got a system, you'll be fine. Okay, viewers, look, thanks for watching. I'd love to hear your comments, and I'm sure there's a lot of different ways people have started out and a lot of different ways they've done it, and we all do it differently. But I think if you focus on some key points and keep your head above water and keep your eyes wide open, you're going to do all right. Love to hear your comments. Please subscribe if you're new to the channel, and share, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you.